We're in a holographic universe. We're in a holographic reality. This is a simulation. You are biological computer chips operating through this simulation. You have to update your information. You have to update your wisdom, your knowledge base. You have to update your knowledge. You have to update your body to keep up with not only society, but keep up with consciousness, because consciousness is forever expanding and growing. And you will get left behind. And you walk out on the streets and you see people left behind every day, all day. You see it. And just not, you don't only see it in conversation, you see it in people clothing, what they wearing. You see it in the way people interact with themselves and other people. You see it in the way people communicate. You see it. You see people get left behind every day because they don't look in the mirror and they don't reevaluate themselves to reinvent yourself. You have to constantly reinvent yourself. Everything in nature does it. Everything have a shedding process in nature. Snakes shed their skin, dogs lose their fur. Everybody go through these reinvention or this cocooning phase in their life multiple times before they die. Even your cells go through it. It's called autophagy. Every 120 days, your erythrocytes, or what you'll call red blood cells, die off and renew themselves. The bones, every bone in your body reconstructs itself every 7 years. Every 4 to 7 years, your hair follicle sheds off and you grow new, thicker follicles and strands. The nervous system, every cell in your body reincarnate or reinvent itself to keep up with society, to keep up with the environment that the biological body is in. Why don't you think you need to do that with your mindset? Because by default, every essence of your body do. But when it comes to mindset, we just stuck in our ways and we want to stay the same. And all of those people end up lonely and dying alone. Everybody is not the same. There are 7 root races, and that's because Elohim was potentially, or the Anunnaki was potentially made of 7 different beings, and these 7 different beings came together and they created their own races. When they created their own races, they tinkered with the genes a little bit different than they tinker with everybody else's in the blood types. That's why we got different gene sequence, different blood types, and different skin complexions. They did different hairs because they created their creation to look like them. And that's why when you read about the book of Noah, it talk about Noah having blonde hair. It talk about Noah in the book of Jasher having these blue piercing eyes. Matter of fact, when Tahar, which is Noah's father, had him, he was scared shitless because he said, hey, this don't look like me. So it just shows you when they created the creation, they created their creation to look just like them. So, and that's the reason why I don't like the concept of us worshiping other gods that don't even look like us. I don't like the concept of worshiping anything in the first place, to be honest with you, because I'm a rebellious person. I don't have the worship gene. If it was, I done reconfigured it or something. The whole world was black before white people were created. I want to keep that clear. Everything was indigenous. You have indigenous people of African lands. You have indigenous people of American lands. You have indigenous people of Asian lands. You have indigenous people of European lands. The indigenous people of European lands was called the Moors. They call it the Dark Ages. Why do they call it the Dark Ages? Because it was ran and controlled by dark people before white conquistadors came and became oppressors over that land. So everywhere on earth, even in Australia, you have the Aborigines. So everywhere you go on earth, there's a so-called black melanated being that originated there first. All life did not start in Africa. Many people are now starting to talk about that. There's a bunch of literature and stuff that's now widely spread and talking about these things. And America is one of the most ancient, oldest civilizations in the world. We have some of the oldest pyramids in the world. We have some of the oldest sphinx in the world. We have some of the oldest literatures and writings in the world. America is the ancient old world. They trying to kill the natural sun, and it's working. It's already been dying. When you read in ancient texts, it's been dying for a long time. When suns die, they get hotter, and then when they get hot, they explode and create a supernova, and then that sun create a new galaxy that's a part of the universe. This is what they say. So it's already getting hot, which they blaming it on climate change, but it's really our star dying, which is the reason why Nibiru and Nebiru had to come back to get us anyway. Different civilizations and galaxies, when you start getting into the Galactic Federation, talk about stuff like this all the time, right? So what I think is they're trying to prepare for that, and they're trying to get rid of the natural sun. That way they can charge you for light. Same way they charge you for electricity, when the electricity is really free energy. Same way they charge you for water, when water is come from within the earth that they didn't create. Same way that you have to go to the grocery store to buy fruit when fruit grows on trees naturally. They're trying right now. Do you realize you have to pay for airspace now? You can't even fly in certain airspaces. Tyler Perry, I don't know if they swept this under the rug or not, but 2 years ago, he bought airspace and somebody flew in his airspace and he sued the people that flew in his airspace. How can you own air? Give it 20 years from now, there's going to be unclassified documents, the same way they did with the brain gate theory, showing that we can have telekinesis and we can hemi-sync our brains, we can see through walls, and now it's CIA declassified documents proving these things. It's gonna be the same thing on that, on how so-called African Americans or melanated beings in the world have supernatural powers that they have been suppressing through pharmaceutical companies, through GMO foods, through foods that are very, very ultra processed, through contaminated fluoride poisoned water, through candies that have hyperactive sugar molecules in it. There is a reason why they keeping us doped and drugged up, because it suppresses our genes and it suppresses our cells and it suppresses our ability to be like gods. We are made after its image and after its likeness. So that means we possess the very unique abilities and powers that our creator possessed. And they figured it out before. I'm not going to even say they figured it out before us. They came and suppressed our ancestors, and then they taught us a different education to make us believe that we were human beings, and we not. And biology tell us that.
Do you believe demigods exist in these modern times?
You see a demigod every time you turn on the TV and you watch the football show. You see a demigod every time you turn on the NBA channel and somebody is jumping 7 feet in the air over a person that's 7'2" and they're dunking a ball. You see a demigod when you got a person like Stephen Curry that can go half court and shoot 100 shots and only miss one. You see a demigod when you have what's her name? Shakara running she running faster than a damn gazelle, full speed. You see a demigod when you got a black African man running and jump on a pole and they get 15 feet in the air. You see a demigod when you see boxing and you see the IQ, they hand and eye coordination. You see a demigod when you hear the voice of something that just soothes your soul and it makes you rhythm. Demigods create influence through power. It's just subtle. We are the demigods. So yeah, I see a demigod every day when I look in the mirror. And I know you see one too. So we are here, brother. We never left. If I break this phone open right now and I pulled out my chip, it is called a living grid. So if you look at the difference between cities and grids inside of computer chips and cell phone chips, they look the same way. It's called a matrix. These are prison systems. The ancient Africans and the ancient Hindus call it feng shui. So based off of structure, and that's why the Masons or the Knights Templars, when they built certain things with cornerstones, notice they only use limestones, granite, and marble. You see that? They always use lining of copper and gold, and they put different structures physically in certain places because they knew that that would change the infrastructure and the energy in the room. It's where you get the word logos from. That's a logo right there, the Yahki Awakened logo, but that emits its own frequency by the shape and the color of it. Same thing when you look at a picture or when you hear the word mean logo. So just like you can speak things and speak energy on somebody, you can build energy on somebody too. There's a reason why they call it a prison cell, and you have something called a biological cell inside your body. And certain things can't make it out of themselves. That's the reason why cells are the way they is. That's why they're the space they is, because this does something psychologically to your mind. Notice if you look at older homes, they base models and the template that they was built off of look totally different from the homes today. And notice all the homes back then was built and made with brick. Notice most of them had some type of antenna that went into the sky. They call them cathedrals. And they generated electricity. Notice how they do our homes now. You get more flat roofs or more roofs like this. So structures, shape, and vibration all bring in a certain type of frequency. So yeah, feng shui is real. If you get a new phone and you really read through all of those Privacy Act laws, you are giving over your thoughts, you're giving over your privacy, you're giving over your camera. They taking pictures. Every millisecond, this thing take about 3 pictures of me. And you can turn off the lights and use a UV light in it to show the phone taking pictures. The phone is constantly recording your conversation, seeing the things you like. The actual grid inside the phone or the circuit breaker is emitting a frequency and it's giving you called bioloop feedback of your brain pattern waves. This thing is the actual snake that was in the Garden of Eden. This is the apple. And that's the reason why if you look at the back of your iPhone, Notice it's an apple that's have been bit off, right? Well, have you heard of the apple deception in the Garden of Eden? The tree of knowledge, good and evil. They was told not to eat from that tree, and they ate from that tree. And once they ate from the tree, they had knowledge. They knew it all. And that knowledge was going to cause the actual collapse of man or mankind because it was high technology. This the same type of thing. So this is the tree of knowledge, good and evil, and the high elites or the serpent trying to get us to eat from this forbidden knowledge, and we doing it every day. So your cell phone, man, is crazy work, man. This is a very, very spiritual harvesting device. And if you go through it, you can, all your dark secrets in here, all your nasty pictures in here, all the pornography that you search the web is in here. Everything that you think about, you put it in your phone, whether you physically do it or whether you mentally do it. So these things are harvesting our souls, our energy, our spirit, and it's dehydrating the hell out of us and giving us cancer too at the same thing. Being in a quiet house in the dark, turning the lights off and feeling you, like feeling your essence, your being, and it's not where you want it to be, that is some scary shit, brother. Because you got to deal with that. The darkness get thick. You know, you start hearing the house settle. You hear little movements and cracklings. You can hear your heart beating. You can feel your blood pumping through your body. You can listen and hear your breath. It's like, dang, it's you. You just left to deal with you. Then them thoughts creep in. You know, I'm not good enough. This is why I'm not good enough. I did that person wrong. Dang, remember you did that. See, it's because when you in the spotlight, I'm in the spotlight a lot. I get a lot of compliments. Everybody want autographs. They want pictures. It keep me in my ego. But when you by yourself and that ego gone, you got to deal with who you are and what you did, man. It be sins that you forgot you committed, that when you meditating by yourself, they get brought. Damn, I did that 10 years ago. I forgot I even committed that. And that shows you how desensitized we have become as a people. You can do some hurtful things in your past years. You either done suppressed it subconsciously, or you too much in your ego. You done forget that you did people wrong. You need to be more humble. You used to be in the streets. You used to gangbang. You know what that consists of. You need to be more humble about yourself. When you go to Mexico and you look at the populations around those pyramids, do you see Spanish people of light complexion? You see nappy-headed, dark-skinned people that speak good Spanish because them are your original Mexicans. You can't go to no geographical location on earth that it wasn't melanated beings there first. Whether I'm talking about the Dominican Republic, I'm talking about Puerto Rico, I'm talking about Cuba, South America, anywhere you go on the land, you're going to see black people there first. And then all other people come from us. And this is the truth. Science backed this up, biology backed this up, biochemistry backed this up. So when I say so-called African American, it's not to be derogatory towards African people. Them are our brothers and sisters. We are cousins through the genealogies of DNA and bloodlines. We are all connected. But I don't come from Africa. My ancestry line don't come from Africa. I come from the Shabti tribe of Louisiana. I know the tribe I come from. I know the zone I come from. We Chickasaw Nation. I know my people. We are not African. We're not. We are indigenous to the Americas.
Why are South Korea, China, India, the US, Japan, Russia, and the European Union racing to create artificial suns?
I think it's the Antichrist, because, you know, when you look at from a biblical sense, it says that Christ is the sun, S-U-N. But we already know symbology, Christ is the sun, S-O-N. So when you create a new sun, you're being anti-Christ, because you are literally trying to recreate or knock the original sun out of its position to create your own. Now, the reason what they said is to make basically a sun out of a nuclear capacitor. What they say for they can do it without creating carbon dioxide, because they pushing this whole climate change bullcrap on the world, which there's really no such thing as that. Now, I believe that it is something going on worldwide that's happening with the climates. That's why you see all of the different, you know, species washing up from the oceans. You seeing catastrophic events happening everywhere. They shooting all these different satellites up in the air. They putting sun stimulators on the natural sun, and then you seeing all these false suns rising. The problem and the issue with that is it's under a different light code spectrum. I actually studied this. So they tried to get it as close to the sun as possible. I got an artificial sun in the room right there. It's called biophotomodulation therapy, but it gives off the ultraviolet light therapy, and it gives off that red spectrum. Theirs give off more blue than red, and we know that blue light spectrum from the sun is very, very stress inducing. but we know that the red light takes away stress. So you got to just start asking yourself, for one, y'all making false suns. Not only are y'all making false suns, y'all putting these suns in the sky, and then when you putting these suns in the sky, you're turning up the blue light more than the red light, and the blue light induces stress, specifically in what you would call carbonated beings. So what are you really trying to do? You or a robot. That's the reason why they're putting nanobot technology inside of you. They're filling you with lead, they're filling you with mercury, and they're filling you with aluminum, because it's literally changing the functionality and the biochemical makeup of your genes and turning you to a cyborg. So now we're humans mixed with robots. You can look this stuff up, and they do this through, putting things in your bloodstream. They do it through putting certain minerals and stuff in your cereals, putting certain mercury and stuff through your milks. They do it through basically fortifying your foods, which you allowed them to do that. We signed off on that in the 1960s for them to start fortifying our food because we was losing vital minerals. And then through this fortification, notice what's in it: mercury, metal, lead, and nanobot technology. So now we need something to communicate. So now if you have a thought, you can literally be thinking about a bicycle and don't mention it, and you can open your phone up on Facebook, and what's the first suggestion you will see? A bicycle ad. And you wondering, I didn't talk about this, I thought it, why is it in my phone? Because these things are reading the brain waves and patterning. Your brain waves is a sequence. It's like a sequel. It's a mathematical equation. If you build some type of software to read that mathematical equation, then you can translate it into the exact image or English that you needed to be, and I can tell you what you was thinking. See, I ain't been doing this on people for the longest. When man writes something, it's not going to always be 100% correct, because man is going to be involved in their ego. It's going to be different types of programming. It's different languages comprises when you read the Bible. For instance, in one chapter, it will say El Elyon. In the next chapter, it will say Edonai. In one chapter, it will call him El. The next chapter will call it Yahweh or Yahweh. So, I mean, anybody know, if you just do a little bit of research and read it slow and read it in its original language, which is Hebrew and Aramaic to Greek, I mean, you will see the inconsistencies. Now, I'm not knocking it for what it's doing, though, because it is taking you from your animalistic nature and it is reinventing you to become a newer being, high elevating into Christ consciousness, or the key to chakra, which means it's taking you from your flesh and it's making you involve your flesh and connect it back to your spirit in a more advanced way to look at reality, for you can love yourself and love your brother as you love thyself. So when you look at it in that standpoint, I love it. Even when you get into the book of Genesis, or in Hebrew we call it Bereshith, chapter 1, verse 29, it talks about our original diet before sin actually happened in the garden, and Adam and Hawa was kicked out of the garden. It shows you what we ate. It says that we were supposed to eat fruit bearing seed after its kind. We were supposed to eat the herbs. The herbs were supposed to be for the healing of the nations, and we were supposed to eat fruit bearing seed after its kind, and we were supposed to drink the water.